Look what I have here. This is black frame insertion working with boost mode. And I don't know why LG locks all the settings, like for no reason. I understand that some processing can, can cause a higher input lag. Okay, just give me the option to use it, and I am willing to try the penalty on the input lag. Okay, that's okay for me. That's fine, but don't lock the setting. So yeah, I'm gonna show you everything. So let's go here first to the game optimizer mode, so you see what I'm talking about, and I'm gonna tell you how I got this working. So you see I have black frame insertion. This is on SDR, and you see here boost on prevent input lag. You see it is on boost. So you might think, okay, yeah, but that's not working. It's when it's grayed out, it's not working. I know it's working. How? Because I can feel it. And the difference is not a small difference. It is a huge difference. So I know for sure, 100%, it is working, because this is 60 frames and it feels so responsive on my input. That's insane. So the way to get this working is you have to basically unplug the HDMI cable from the TV and plug it back again. So the TV is confused with that. Basically, it's confused about what is the device that is being displayed. So you go here, you press that input button, and you come here to edit inputs. You see I have everything on PC. So when you do that, just unplug the HDMI cable, you plug that back again, the TV is confused, doesn't know what's going on, and then it gives you access to change those settings. So what you do is any setting you want to change, you change that, and then you click apply to all inputs, and it's gonna save the settings. So then when you restart everything, you can see, for example, here color gamut set to native, and this by default is on auto, and I don't like auto. I do not like it. The color saturation is just washed out, and I have to use color depth 55 or more, and it's still not good enough, especially the reds and the skin tones and the fire and the greens. It's trash. I don't like it at all. That's why I was so unhappy with this in the first place. So why LG, why you don't give me access to change this? I know it works because it's working right now. Why you don't let me change it? Why? It's just crazy to lock the settings for absolutely no reason. I know you can get black frame insertion working with boost mode. How do I know that? Because it's working right now. I can feel it. I know color gamut on native can work on PC mode. How do I know that? Because it is working right now. I can see it. It is clear that this is on native. Not a question on my mind. So yeah, I just wish I could just pay for a firmware that unlocks everything. I would pay whatever, or I don't know, to somebody who hacks this thing. I know there's an app I'm trying to use on Windows that was made for the CX, and it's not working for this C1. It's supposed to be working, but it's not. So I'm gonna try to figure that out. So this is my favorite setup. I have gamma 2.2 when I use black frame insertion, and if on SDR, and if I don't use black frame insertion, then I set this gamma to BT 2020. And I have on the NVIDIA control panel full color RGB in full, and I use this setting. So OLED pixel brightness 100%. The contrast, I like to raise that to 97. It raises the overall luminance of the screen. It might not be the most accurate, but I don't care. It looks better for me. Screen brightness on 50. You don't touch that because it's gonna, if you raise that, it's gonna wash out the, basically the blacks are not gonna be black anymore. And then I've been playing around with this sharpness and using NVIDIA Deep Learning Super Sampling. So you see I have here the Motion Pro on high. So with the NVIDIA Deep Learning Super Sampling, you get an extremely sharp image, and I don't have to use anti-aliasing. So you see this resolution is 5120 by 2880. That's crazy. That's a lot of pixels. So I have no anti-aliasing, and I set this to 60. So I have the game locked to 60. It drops below 60 when I'm driving on the grass and in some areas, but for the most part it's a lock 60, especially when I am on the city. So what I love about this, and by the way, I'm looking at the recording. On the recording it looks a lot dimmer than what I'm looking at in front of me. And you can see the black, that black bar going up to that, scrolling down, and that is the black frame insertion. That what that does for you is that gives you amazing motion resolution. So you do this, and it looks great. I love it. That's what I'm looking for. So you have this resolution that's beyond 4K with no anti-aliasing. It looks extremely sharp. But GTA 5 has a terrible aliasing. Like, there's no way to get rid of it. You can try MSAA by 8 4K and you still see the aliasing. So what I was trying is to get anti-aliasing with the TV, and it works, and it works very well. So I adjusted sharpness to 15. So how I got to this number, I was looking at some examples with aliasing, like, just looking at a table, and I was adjusting this sharpness up and down, and I realized that when you turn that up, it's actually smoothing out the edges. So now I have an image here that's beyond 4K with very little aliasing. You still see some. It's impossible to get rid of the aliasing on this game, no matter how much resolution you give it. Maybe at 8K. But yeah, so now I have a super sharp image that still retains like 1080p, maybe a little bit more, maybe 1200p, something like that, on motion. So it still retains a lot of resolution in movement with amazing colors. I love these colors, by the way. They look very, very good to me. So this green is very, very nice. It's not saturated, it's not disgusting, it's great. That blue, amazing. The red, amazing. Like, everything is looking right to me. With these settings I'm using, everything is looking amazing. So now it is not perfect, and I'm gonna tell you what is the defect that I see. So just to summarize before I tell you what is not perfect about this. So input lag, not better than with G-Sync, but it's very good. Very, very good. I'm happy with that. So I'm okay with this input lag, almost none. The colors and the motion resolution, perfect. But there's one problem. I can still see, not here, not on this time of the day, but I still see some posterization on the sky, especially when you go from night to the daytime. I see some posterization, and I don't have a way to get rid of it because, again, on PC mode, LG is locking all the settings, and if they if I have access to this, for example, if I have access to smooth gradation, I tried this in normal content, and it works amazing. It completely, almost completely eliminates any posterization. Also eliminates some other fine detail. But give me the option. Why is this locked? Why? It should work. Now, if it adds input lag, I'm okay with that. Let me use it. Let me use it. There's no reason whatsoever that is not working. No reason. So you see how the colors are changing with the time of the day. Once it gets, so the colors get warmer with the time of the day. So this looks beautiful to me. Absolutely beautiful. The color saturation, you see a green that's so beautiful there. This red is super vivid. So yeah, love it, love it, love it. Absolutely amazing. This scene here with these colors, they look perfect to me. Absolutely perfect. The sky is a beautiful blue. It's not overly saturated. So another defect that I see with this setup is I can see flickering. After a while you get used to it, but when you look at a white background like this, mostly white, you can see flickering. I mean, I can see it. So the solution for that is just to set the refresh rate to 65 or more. When you set that to 65 or more, you don't see flickering anymore. At least I don't see it. So, but the problem is that 65 frames with this resolution I'm using, it's not gonna be possible. You see, I'm 98% of GPU utilization, and it's dropping below 60 sometimes. So when it drops below 60 and you are using black frame insertion, you are going to see judder. You see, it's like, I don't know. I'm not sure if that's the name of the defect of the artifact. It's judder. It's like a click. It's like when you're doing this, you see the image jumping a little bit, like doing some small jumps, a little bit, and that's when you don't, when your performance is not rock solid 60, but still, is gonna, even if it drops to 50 frames, you are still going to retain motion resolution. It's gonna be almost the same retention of motion resolution. You're only going, the problem is gonna be, you're gonna see that judder. I think that's the name of the defect. Correct me if I'm wrong with that. But I would take that any day. I would take that any day. So yeah, and driving feels great. So driving with low input lag is amazing. That's one of the main reasons why I love G-Sync. I mean, that's the only reason, to be honest. One, of course, you don't see tearing, but the main reason is it feels great to drive. Like for an amazing HDR game that's driving, like, Forza, I would never use, black frame insertion. I would use, G-Sync and HDR. But yeah, also the other thing is I was using HDR on non-HDR games, but I realized the colors on HDR, they get diluted, so the colors are worse on HDR. So yeah, some games are amazing on HDR, but if they are not natively supporting HDR, you're probably going to be better off on SDR, unless you want to use black frame insertion and the game is not bright enough, so you don't have enough brightness. So on HDR, you can just turn on that dynamic tone mapping. It's going to compress the dynamic range, so it's gonna be basically SDR but brighter, and that's going to allow you to use black frame insertion. That's it. So I'm very happy with the results. I mean, this is a premium experience. When I do a negative observation, it's not that I'm saying, this sucks or anything. This is amazing. This is an incredible experience. But when you are getting, high-end equipment, you are expecting high-end results. At least I am. So, yeah, this is great. And by the way, these LG C1s right now, they are on sale for $900. I think that's a bargain. I paid $1,999, so it's $100 more than what they are running right now. But $900, even $1,000 for this TV is very good. But $900, $899.99. That's a bargain. I would never pay for a high-end IPS monitor instead of this. It's not even a comparison. I have an IPS display as a monitor. It's so far. Yeah, I know you can get a better monitor, but yeah, it's too far from this on everything. I'm always talking about the plasma as the reference for me in terms of the colors that I like and in terms of motion resolution. But if you compare this with anything else that is not a plasma, it's not even close. Not even close. I would never pay more than $300 for a gaming monitor. If you're gonna pay $500, just save the money and get a C1 or get another OLED monitor. And the LGs are great because they have all these features, even when they locked most of them. But they do have the best gaming features, so it is a great option. And on the city, this looks amazing. Let me change it to Franklin or... Oh no, they are locked now because of the story. Oh, but I have online. Let me change it to the online. Yeah, I'm probably gonna run out of battery, so I'm just gonna play until I run out of battery. And for some reason, I think the TV is getting brighter. I think maybe it's my perception, but I remember at the beginning trying to use SDR on GTA 5 with black frame insertion was impossible. Like, it was not bright enough. And now it is. So I don't know really what's going on there. But it looks like the TV out of the box comes with terrible colors. It is less bright, with less brightness. At least that's my experience. I might be wrong. Maybe it's my